All right, everyone, we did it again. One more time, I went through YouTube, I scrolled through, and came across the Goo Goo Dolls doing the song Iris in 2004. On July 4th, I was pleasantly surprised. Pleasantly surprised. I'm not going to say anymore at the beginning of the episode or in the title what I gave it for a sharp score. You're going to have to wait to the end of the video to see what score I gave it. But anyways, that is what this episode of B Sharp and C is about. The Goo Goo Dolls doing the song Iris live. All right, here we are. We're doing it again. We're going to go through YouTube and find a song to listen to that's live. Now, the algorithm is going to throw back at me some of the songs I've already listened to, like Zac Brown Band from 4 years ago. I just listened to that the other day, and it's still there. So let's just scroll through and see what we can find. We can't listen to a full Eminence Front we just did. No, that's an hour and 40. Gracie Abrams, you see? Prince, 11 minutes. Ed Sheeran, Sapphire. I don't know if I want to do an Ed Sheeran song. Coldplay, but that's the whole concert. Goo Goo Dolls. Iris, live in Buffalo. I never got into the Goo Goo Dolls. Ever. I never got into the Goo Goo Dolls. This might actually be interesting. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do the Goo Goo Dolls. Come on.
You turn my guitar on.
Yeah, turn it on, man. Ooh, a mandolin. Nice touch.
And I'd give up forever.
So it's important to know that not only do I not know the Goo Goo Dolls, like I don't even know this lead singer's name, okay? And I grew up in the 90s, the 80s and 90s, but I hated them. I hated everything about the Goo Goo Dolls. I don't know why. I just did. Number one, I just don't like their name. Number two, I didn't like any of their music. It just struck me as the 90s with their alternative music and a lot of that alternative in the 90s. I was like, they're trying to redefine classic rock. And there was something about it that I didn't like. Now, there were some alternative bands that I did like. I liked Nirvana. I liked Stone Temple Pilots. A couple songs from Alice in Chains. But you see, Alice in Chains, I didn't necessarily consider to be alternative. Not alternative rock anyways, more like alternative metal. I don't know, it's weird. It's hard for me to explain, but there were some alternative bands I liked, some I didn't. And I know on paper, like in the dictionary, there's a difference between alternative music and alternative rock. And remind me, at some point throughout this video, we'll look it up.
To touch you, 'cause I know that you feel me so.
All right, so we have some optics here. He doesn't have to be standing in the rain, but he's deciding to. So he's trying to maybe garner some, some cool points with the audience. Like, oh, the dude standing in the mandolin player's like, I ain't getting this $2,000 mandolin wet. Go fry ice. But whoever his name is from the Goo Goo Dolls is standing there saying, hey, I'm going to get all wet and it's going to look sexy. And the women in the audience are going to scream at me. All right, let's go.
And I'd give up forever to touch you, 'cause I know that you feel me somehow. You're the closest to heaven that I'll ever be, and and I don't wanna go home right now. 'Cause all I can taste is this moment, and all I can breathe is your life. So when sooner or later it's over.
All right, I don't want to get super weird. I just don't. It's not appropriate. But what in the name of all that is holy is going on with this bass player? Look at the bass player's facial expressions. Well, what the heck? Is he on like ecstasy or something? Look at that. Look at his face. He's like, "Argh." He might actually have to poop. Hold on a second.
'Cause all I can taste is this moment.
He's like, oh man, I had that bread muffin and coffee before the concert. Hurry up.
So when sooner or later it's over, I just don't wanna miss you tonight. And I don't wanna see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand. Where everything's meant to be broken, I just want you to know
I like that lyric.
and you can't fight the tears that ain't coming. Oh,
All right, so all joking aside, I've always thought throughout my whole entire life that presentation means something. And I think sometimes bands go a little bit too far with their presentation because they actually kind of deep down inside know that musically they don't necessarily have it, and I've always thought that about certain bands. To be completely honest with you, and everyone's going to hate me for it, I thought that about AC/DC for the longest time. And I still kind of do, Kiss, kind of the same thing. But when you pay money to go to a concert, you are paying to be entertained. It's not a laundering service or, you're getting your car washed. You're not paying for that type of service. You're paying to be entertained. So bands that go that little extra mile to entertain, to give you a cool presentation, you got to give them a lot of credit because they realize that they're doing it for the fans, you know? And excuse me, but my God, I'm all phlegmed up this morning. But yeah, I can see that here. There's some presentation going on, and I like that. Oops, I made it small.
the moment of truth in your lies. So when everything feels like the movies, yeah, you bleed just to know you're alive. And I don't wanna see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand. When everything's meant to be broken, I just want you to know I am.
I don't know why the American flag is there. Is it the 4th of July party? Oh, that was cool. All right, so I have to say a few things here. I do. I have to come out and say a few things. I've always hated the Goo Goo Dolls. I've just never liked them. And I know I've said that before, but I just feel it's important to keep saying it, you know? Hold on a second. It's the morning time, so I get a little, well, like I said before, I get phlegmed up. But he grabs the camera and points it to the audience. That's just awesome. I love crap like that. Um, the fact that they're just playing in the rain and getting soaked is beginning to grow on me because it's like, yeah, man. And look at the date, July 4th, 2004. So that's why there's an American flag there. You see, man, context is everything. All right, let's go. Over there. Oh, that's precious. I love that. I love it. slide guitar. All right, so I don't know where the mandolin player was standing, but he seemed dry. Although there was a shot where he looked a little wet, so I don't know. But the drum set is wet. Everyone is soaking wet. And when they show the stadium, or I should say the stage, when they show the stage from a certain angle, nothing seems covered. I think the whole band is getting soaked. Um, I mean, there's a tent. See the tent right here? The mandolin player could have been under there, kind of like, yeah, this mandolin's too expensive. A good mandolin is not cheap. So that might be it. And they are playing on wood, which, if it gets completely soaked, is not necessarily good for it. So maybe the mandolin player, I don't know where the mandolin player was, but everyone else is completely drenched. The stage, you can see every square inch of the stage is completely soaked. Every hi-hat and ride is completely soaked on his drum set. Everything is soaked. They have a tarp over some of the electronics, which makes sense. Um, but I'm liking this so far. Crap, man. I hate when something proves me wrong. Can we all just agree the bass player is a little weird? I mean, the dude is a little weird. First, he had to really poop, and I don't know if he went and pooped and then came back mid-song, but he strikes me as a little bizarro.
I want you guys to take this one home, all right?
Are they British?
I want you guys to take this one home, all right?
I want you guys to take this one home. They can't be British.
I don't wanna see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand. Where everything's meant to be broken, I just want you to know I am.
Man, great lyrics.
And I just want you to know I am. And I just want you to know I am. Yeah. You guys are the best. This is the best 4th of July ever. 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 Give yourself some love. You have no idea how much we love you. Good night. Thank you for sticking around.
We live to love goo. I mean, that could be misinterpreted in so many ways, in ways that I'm not even going to dare approach because my channel will get demonetized. It's not even monetized now. Goo Goo Dolls. Wikipedia. Okay, hold on a second. Let's just make it bigger. Come on. Goo Goo Dolls are an American rock band based in Buffalo, New York, composed of lead vocalist and guitarist John Vzesnik. Come on, would you knock it off with the RZ? Really? Rzeznik? I have no idea how to say that. And bassist Robbie Takic. They all sound like they have like Eastern European last names, like they're Serbian or something. As well as several rotating members since its formation in 1986. After starting off as a cover band and then developing a punk sound, the Goo Goo Dolls experienced mainstream success. 1995 breakthrough single Name. Okay, that's not what we heard. That was Iris. Wow. Gosh. This is the Goo Goo Dolls. They have quite the page on Wikipedia. The bassist and the guitarist have been like the longest members. I've never seen a chart like this. This is awesome. A chart of different types of musicians and what they play and how for how long they were with the band. That is awesome. The mandolin player is green. I don't get that. How does that work? So the mandolin player is green, but yet there is no solid green. John Resnick is the. Oh, I see what they're doing. The mandolin player. Oh, John Resnick is green and red, vocals and guitar. The bass player is blue and red, bass and vocals. Okay. And then the mandolin is this color here, which is this. So, and these are the members. I see. I see what they're doing. So the guy who playing the mandolin was probably Greg Suron or whatever his name is. I can't read it. Greg Suron, guitar, mandolin, percussion, backing vocals from 2002 to 2006, and that song was 2004. So that was probably Greg Suron. Well, we live to love Goo. I live to love Goo too. My overall take, number one, I always go to the engineering, and lately my headphones have been playing in mono, so I got to push the stupid thing in to make sure it's in stereo. But it was good engineering. It's funny, they had the audience panned to the sides, and I liked that. Um, so the overall engineering in recording of the song was really good. The effort that they put in to giving these folks a good show who was standing there in the rain is second to none. And I think that's really important to mention because there are a lot of artists who are like, that's raining out. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna play. But yet the audience is willing to stand in the rain and get soaked. So why can't you? You know, you're the one making the money. They're the ones who paid to stand in the rain. You're the one receiving hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions, depending upon the venue, I guess. I don't know how that works, but you're the one getting paid a lot of money to stand in the rain and play music. Like, if the audience is willing to stand in the mud for 2 hours, you might as well get up there on stage, you know, where you have a towel and access to a tent if you need one. Um, so the effort was awesome. The presentation was really nice. Listening to the lyrics of the song this time around, they're very profound, and I like that about this song. And I remember even hearing it in the 90s thinking this song's actually not bad. Um, but I had a very strong aversion to anything alternative because I just didn't like it. But nowadays, now in 2025, so 30 years later, right, or 31 years later, I look at, or in this case, it's 21 years after this concert, but like in the mid 90s, 1995, right? So you would take 30 years. 30 years later, from the mid 90s, where alternative was exploding, I would almost pay to have an alternative band come out because of the fact that they were still doing music the traditional way. They were using tricks with their vocals, trying to get their vocals to sound good. They were trying to learn their instruments, and they did guitar solos, and they were trying different things. Here you have the mandolin, you know. Let's just check something together because I think this is really important. The difference between alternative rock and rock. No, 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 no. The difference between alternative and alternative rock. What does AI say? And this is true. Alternative and alternative rock are often used interchangeably. That I know, because there are a lot of people who don't know the distinction. But there's a subtle distinction. Alternative rock is a specific genre of rock music that emerged from the independent music underground, while alternative is a broader term encompassing various genres outside of mainstream music, including alternative rock. Essentially, alternative rock is a subgenre of alternative music. And I do know that to be true because a lot of people consider alternative music. So I'm trying to remember what it is, but I think a lot of people who grew up in the 80s, so maybe I was born in 76, so maybe they were born in the late 60s or early 70s, where the 80s were more of their informative years, whereas for me, it was late 80s, early to mid 90s. You know what I'm saying? Um, a lot of people who were born in like 1970 and the 80s was their decade, I believe they refer to all of those 80s one-hit wonder bands and all of that 80s music that came out. I believe they refer to that as alternative. But in the mid 90s, we had a kind of alternative that was different. It was alternative rock. It was alternative bands almost trying to be like classic rock, and therefore it gave birth to alternative rock. And whatever the case is, I mean, I actually appreciated the 80s alternative more than the 90s alternative rock, if I'm getting the terms correct, um, simply because the 80s wasn't trying to be anything. In my opinion, I think they defined something, whereas the 90s, in their efforts to be like classic rock, kind of defined alternative rock, which in and of itself stood alone and stood high. There were some alternative rock bands that I actually really identified with in the 90s, but most of them, including the Goo Goo Dolls, I couldn't stand. But this might just be a case of Artie Astor not giving the band a chance. And most of that reasoning is because I really, like I said in I think my last episode, I really dive into a band when I like it. And I tend to exclude other bands and then just dive into a band, you know? But that was a nice performance. That was a nice performance. So now let me give it an Artie score. No, I keep saying that. Let me give it a sharp score. Presentation was really nice. Really nice. The song was good. The lyrics were nice. But I have to give it a score on what we saw. We didn't listen to a studio version of the song. We saw a performance. What would I give it? And of course, my taste is going to affect it to some degree. All right, this is a really good score, and I know a lot of people are going to look at it and be like, well, gosh, take it easy on the Goo Goo Dolls. I would give it a 7.4, which is really good. You know, in my opinion, I think a 7.4, I have never given anything over a 9 yet. You know, and I think a 7.4 is really good because of what they did, the effort they put forth. The song was good. The lyrics were nice. The event was nice, and the effort was second to none. I will say that what they did as far as giving as much of themselves to the audience is off the charts. But I would give it a 7.4. I really would. And I know that the people are going to disagree, but that's actually a really good score when you stop and think about it. So anyways, that's what I'm giving it. Let me know what you think of my estimation of the performance. Let me know what you think of the performance. And if you have a performance that you want me to listen to, or even a studio version of some underground band that you want me to analyze, put it in the comment section. I would be very much happy to to do that. In fact, I have been doing these videos now for a while. I don't get a lot of comments. I don't get a lot of engagement, although viewership is going up, which is nice. But up till the making of this video, I have not had anyone put a song that they want me to analyze in the comment section. And it's probably because my video, who the heck is Artie Astor? And what the heck is the show B sharp and C? Someday, I'm going to be huge. My name's going to be a household name. Actually, I think that was the universe telling me, don't try acting. Just leave it alone. Anyways, this is Artie Astor from the show B sharp and C saying to y'all, keep it groovy.